Vet is absolutely bleeding right now. Of course, Vet is not the only one. We're seeing a downturn in crypto and have been seeing it really since the end of December in the altcoins. And Vet today itself, just today, is down 5% so far. Now, if you have been watching my previous videos on Vet or pretty much any of the altcoins, let me hide this, it's not useful to crypto. You'll see that we have been in this downtrend across Vet and other coins since really December. We've had a high here, a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and now lower lows. The classic definition of a downtrend. It's very clearly visible with this downtrend line that touches the highs as we were falling. And we have seen this pressure for some time. Back in around the 13th through 17th of January, as we were hovering around this very important 0.03 level, I was telling you there was down pressure in VET and altcoins, and I suspected we were going to fall down into this range between 0.027 and 0.3. Why is 0.3 such an important level in VET? Well, first of all, it's a nice big round number, so that makes sense. That's what humans deal with. Thus, that's what algorithms are programmed to deal with, is these nice round numbers. We're certainly going to pay attention to 0.03 before we're going to pay attention to 0.030722822. Okay, so 0.03 is a nice round number. And you'll notice this blue trend line right here. Well, that blue trend line has been with us for a while in VET, and this is it. It's this downward channel that we've been experiencing in VET since back in June of 2022. You can see these lower highs right here falling right in line with the same channel of lower lows. Again, high, lower low, lower high, lower lower kind of thing. Well, we popped out of that in October when we had this fantastic rise from 0.015 up to 0.039, 2.5 times increase. But over time, we have been giving that up the past 4 weeks, and we have entered under this 0.03, which is right where this blue downtrend line is. Okay, so let me go back to VET. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but this is it. This is the downtrend line I was just telling you about. That falls right at this 0.03 level. So not only were we wrestling with a 0.03 as we were trying to decide if we were going to be above it or below it, we were also wrestling with that downtrend line right here. Okay. Well, since those days, those good old days about a week or so ago, we have fallen into this range of 0.027 to 0.03. And it looks like we are going to continue to fall as we are starting to make even lower lows. You can see this line right here that is also a low of this day and this day. It's the current low of today, but this has been the result of the downward pressure that we have seen since December. Most of that has been caused by Bitcoin. Bitcoin, since we had the ETF approvals back in January 10th, spiked up to 49,000 on the 11th and has since been tumbling. This is January 13th through 17th, which is when we, VET, was wrestling with this 0.03. And I was making the assumption then, I said it in many of my videos, pretty much every one, because the altcoins have been affected by Bitcoin so strongly, that I suspected we would break out of the bottom of this channel and start tagging 40,000. We haven't quite tagged 40,000. We're around 40,200 or 300 on these lows. But we did break out of the channel, and it does look like we are eventually going to land into this 38,000 to 40,000 range. We might do something, actually now, I don't know how many more bounces we got left in us, but it just seems inevitable that we're going to go down to 40,000. We could even make a couple last gasp efforts, although Bitcoin looks too weak to do that. But I believe we're going to wind up below 40,000 before we wind up above 45. And I don't even think it's going to be particularly close. The fact of the matter is Bitcoin has had this fantastic run up since October specifically. But even if you look back in November of 2022, it started its run from lows of 16,000, did this right here, and then in October did an absolute skyrocket up to its highs in December. And right now we're just going through a natural correction, a natural, what would you call it, pullback, retracement, whatever you want to call it, is what we're seeing right now. And Bitcoin is going to be the better for it. Even if we fall down into these ranges right here to rebase or reset a foundation, the goal and the hope is that will be a higher base to set us up for higher highs later on in the year. Unfortunately, it's pulling a bunch of these altcoins down as Bitcoin falls, that being one of them. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it in this video. This is not a victory video, rub it in your face video. I own VET. I want VET to go up. I want VET to be over $1. I want Bitcoin to be over 250,000. I need these coins to go up to make good money and to make the money I'm wanting to make. But the fact of the matter is, I can't tell you what I don't see. And what I see is continuous downward pressure. And I've been saying that since about the first part, not the very first, but after the ETF approvals and the falling of Bitcoin. So if you are a VET holder and you want to get more, or if you're a new time to VET and want to get some, I think we're going to be entering this level here soon once Bitcoin goes to 40,000 to 38 to 40,000 here. And should Bitcoin fall further into this 34,000 to 38 range, I think VET may even go back here to revisit its November highs somewhere around here. Now that's in the future, but so was this. This was in the future when we were talking about it here. So we've just got to see what's going to happen with Bitcoin and the alts. Some people are saying they're expecting a flow out of Bitcoin into some of these altcoins. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart for the crypto market caps. So far, it's about 50-50. 51% of the money is in Bitcoin and the rest is in other coins. You can see it got up to 54,000, but right now we've not really seen a huge flow into the altcoins. If we do see that, this Bitcoin dominance will go down. And so I haven't seen a big flow into the altcoins yet, although we may have our season. We'll just have to wait for it because that season is apparently not right now. All right, that's my outlook on VET. It does not look good so far. Oh, I did want to say this. For us to break out of this trend, the first thing we got to do is break out of this trend line. We've got to close above it, and right now we're not even close to it. So it's at the least, it's going to take some time of ranging to get to it before we can break out of it. Then you've got to break above this trend line and this 0.03, which are pretty much still one and the same right now. And until we start seeing prices in VET closing above 0.03, we have absolutely no chance or indication that this downtrend is over. Until then, there's downward pressure. Does pressure mean that the market's going to fall? Definitely. It does not mean definitely. It just means that's where the momentum is. And unless, if any, you know what pressure is. Pressure is a force against what you want it to be at this point if you're long VET. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fall, but it means there's momentum for it to fall, and we'll just have to watch it together. All right, I'll keep you updated on VET. Hang on, be careful, trade wisely. We'll watch the price together.